Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Brendan and I make recipes aimed at saving you both time and money. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make egg bites that rival those that you can get at Starbucks and that you can make at a fraction of the cost. They're easy, they're cheap, and they're a delicious snack that you can easily take on the go. So let's get to it. Okay, so first you're going to need a few things. Some eggs or egg whites, some shredded cheese, cottage cheese, pepper, and salt. As I mentioned, for this recipe, you can either use regular whole eggs or you can use egg whites. I'm going to use a combination of the two just to cut down some of the fat. And then I'm also using low-fat cottage cheese. I'm doing that just because I'm using smoked Gouda and this cheese is pretty fatty. And so I just want to cut down the calories a little bit. But you certainly do not have to do that. And you can just use regular eggs and full-fat cottage cheese. And it would be just as good, if not better. Some other things you're going to need include a blender, a 12-count muffin tin, and then a baking dish that has water in it. This is going to go in the oven at the same time that we put the egg bites in, and this helps them get their fluffy texture. All right, so first I'm just going to grate some cheese into this bowl. I'm going to grate until I have about a cup and a half. You can use regular store-bought shredded cheese. However, I've found that freshly grated cheese tends to taste better. In the store-bought stuff, they put anti-caking agent in there, and so the cheese doesn't melt quite as nicely when you use that, so I prefer to use freshly grated cheese. I like smoked Gouda, and so that's what I'm going to use, but cheddar, pepper jack, you name it, they all work. So now I'm just going to set this aside as we prepare our egg mixture. And so for this recipe, you can either use 8 whole eggs or the equivalent amount of egg white and egg, or just egg white, whatever you choose. If you do want to use egg white or you want to incorporate egg white into the recipe, 1 egg is about a quarter cup of egg white. And so you can just use a quarter cup of egg white for every egg that you're replacing in the recipe. So first I'm going to get out 4 eggs. And now I'm just going to crack these into the blender. And be careful not to get eggshell in here, because that will not be good. And for the egg white, I'm just going to eyeball it because that's what I usually do. But if you want to measure it, feel free. Now I'm going to add 2/3 of a cup of cottage cheese. And finally, just some salt and pepper. I'm going to freshly crack some pepper, so I'm just going to turn it several times until I get it to a level that I want. But feel free to do as much or as little as you want. And the salt, you can add about a quarter of a teaspoon or just to the level that you find works best for you. And so before I blend this, I went ahead and preheated my oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And I also put the baking dish that had water in it in there. That way the oven will be ready to go by the time we finish this up. Now blend for between 10 to 15 seconds. Be sure to not over blend it, but you also want to make sure the mixture is fairly homogeneous. Now I'm just going to add the egg mixture to the muffin tins, and I will fill them up until they're about 2/3 full. Now I'm just going to take this shredded cheese and distribute it among each muffin tin roughly evenly. Now I'm just going to take this fork and mix the cheese in a little bit, just so the cheese isn't just sitting on top of the egg mixture and it's more evenly distributed. All right, these are ready to pop in the oven. You can definitely customize this any which way you want. Like I said with the cheese, pick any kind of cheese you want. You could have added veggies or greens or even bacon or ham or anything like that in here, and it will work just as well. And it'll be to your liking. And so I definitely encourage you to do that. But today I'm just sticking with the regular egg and cheese bites. These are going to go into the oven for between 30 to 35 minutes. If you're enjoying this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it and it really helps out the channel. And so let's talk about savings on this. If you go to Starbucks and you order egg bites, you'll get 2 egg bites and it's going to cost you at least $5. At my local Starbucks here, it costs $5.25. And so for all of the ingredients that I used in this recipe, it was a total of $11. And I didn't even use all of the ingredients. I only used about a third of the stuff that I bought. And so that would come out to about $3.67. And that made 12 egg bites. And so if you divide that up and then multiply by 2, you get 2 egg bites for a whopping 61 cents. That is almost a 10-fold saving amount. You could have nearly 20 egg bites for the same price that you could get 2 at Starbucks. And so I would really encourage you to try this recipe out and make these egg bites at home because it's simple, it's easy, and it's quick. Okay, these have finished baking. I'm just gonna let them cool before I pop them out of this muffin tin, and then I'll give them a taste test. Okay, these have cooled down, and now I'm just gonna give it a taste test. These are really nice. Nice and light, fluffy, done. I get the smoked Gouda coming through. You really can't tell there's cottage cheese in there. You honestly can't really tell that I cut it with egg whites. These are really good, and that's why I love making these. So easy, so simple, fairly quick, assembled in probably 35 minutes, including the cook time. If you'd like to make this recipe, it's going to be in the description below. Again, I encourage you to experiment with it. You can throw any kind of add-ons in there that you'd like, and they'll turn out pretty good. If you end up making these egg bites and you make them in bulk like I did, where I made 12, pop these in the fridge or in the freezer. If you do throw them in the refrigerator, make sure to eat them probably within 5 to 7 days. If they're in the freezer, they'll last a while, so you don't need to worry about that. But that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.